It's a very unfortunate situation. The fires have been burning literally over 3 weeks now, heading into the fourth week, and it has caused much devastation to the people of the Toledo district, both in terms of crops, their farms, in some instances even cattle and pastures. Essentially, the forest has been destroyed. Water sources have been impacted, and I am certain that this is going to have a very long-term devastating effect. For right now, what has to be done, and I want to thank the captain, and certainly NEMO and everybody else, all the government agencies that have been collaborating. Right now is really to get on the ground, to see firsthand what is happening, to get a thorough assessment and evaluation, and really to quantify, the damage, so as to be able to put together in place a plan to address the needs both short-term and long-term.
To date, the initial situation overview right now is approximately 200 families, totaling around 800 persons were impacted by these fires, spread across 19 communities so far that we have been looking at. Fires are still popping up, and so we're still looking at areas across the district that might right now don't have a fire, but we could get called out to go in those areas. The embers are flying, the wind are picking up, and these kinds of things. Confirmed so far, this was as of yesterday evening, 300 acres of crops destroyed. I got an update just a while ago, because if you walk along the corridor, you'll see damage assessment people working on the reports coming in. So this is updated now to about 600 crop damage. This is not to say the rest of the forest, we were just dealing with crop damage in certain areas. This figure has also changed this morning. It went up from $1 million to $3.1 million currently. We're still not done yet. Currently we have teams on the ground down in the Cricket Circle, Sunderwood area, and in the Pointe Santa Teresa area, and so we're still trying to cover ground. Even some of the places that we have visited, reports are still coming in, because you don't meet everybody. People are still in the farms trying to fight fire and trying to save their livelihood, trying to save the farms. So it will be a little while before we really get a good picture of it, but we're just sharing with you right now where we are at this very early stage in the assessment process. Everything here is initial, and it changes daily.
Individuals are squatting inside the Maya Mountain Forest Reserve, making milpas, and they started that fire 2 years ago. Two days ago, the Forestry Department was informed of the squatters inside the Maya Mountain Forest Reserve, and nothing was done. Will these people who start these fires illegally, will they face any kind of consequences? Because this has happened a few years ago. A similar fire happened in Criquehute and Colombia, and thousands of trees were lost, which resulted in millions of dollars. What had been done to mitigate that since?
Right. I think in the first instance, what has to happen is that the persons who are aware of these situations, so if people go in and they find these persons, the first thing is really to report it to relevant authorities. In this case, if they are inside the Maya Mountain Reserve, obviously they have to report it to the Forestry Department.
And they did.
They have to report it to the police and any other agency that is involved in the management of those areas. What has to happen is that we have to have definitely, the follow-up from the government agencies, and they need to ensure that if these persons are found, that they are dealt with, because the truth of the matter is that we cannot continue to condone or to tolerate these kinds of activities, because they have a very severe and negative impact on our forest and natural resources.
The fire department in Punta Gorda said that they are willing to mobilize and to go help fight these fires, but their truck is 30 years old and cannot go very far. And the hose, recently there was a fire just inside PG Town, and they couldn't out the fire with the fire equipment from the fire department because the hose was leaking. They had the manpower, but the equipment was faulty, and as I mentioned, the truck is over 30 years.
Sure.
And the second question is, we have seen on the news where Taiwan donated helicopters, and recently the U.S. Embassy donated a brand new caravan. Are these equipment or these from the being used to help to fight this fire?
Sure. Well, let me respond to the first issue of the fire trucks. It is no secret that the equipment here, the fire trucks in the Toledo district are certainly almost out of commission. I mean, they have to be replaced, and certainly that is something that I am lobbying. We are lobbying along with Minister Andre Perez, who is the minister responsible for NEMO. We need to certainly replace those trucks. I am aware of the challenges. I mean, people are calling those trucks, and halfway along the way it breaks down. We have to do better than that, and so certainly we are working on that to be able to ensure that we can have adequate equipment to be able to respond to these situations. With regards to the air caravan and helicopter, to be honest, I won't be able to. I'm not in a position to respond to that. I think that would be more an appropriate question for the Minister of Border Security.
But aren't they involved with this, with NEMO and
Yes.
combating this disaster that's happening in the Toledo district?
Yes, we have been utilizing the BDF aircraft as recently as last week. We have been using that to do air reconnaissance. That support is still available, and we will be utilizing it again to get a better understanding of the situation. In regard to the helicopter, again, like Minister said, is a question that the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security can answer regarding the status of that, and that the.
But aren't they a part of NEMO?
They are a part of NEMO. However, there are some issues with it which I cannot comment. They would be in a better position to let us know how ready these aircraft are for response.